First, the top news headlines. State observes 172nd death anniversary of Maharaja Nara Singh. Statue of Maharaja Nara Singh to be installed at Western Gate of Kangla within 100 days, announces Chief Minister N. Biren. Imposition of Hindi on other communities will not bring positive result, asserts R.K. Sanayama. New policy will be introduced to ensure adequate availability of fertilizers in state, says Agriculture Minister T.H. Bishwajit. Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the MAMI TV English News Bulletin. I'm ALBINA RIAMEI. State observed the 172nd death anniversary of Maharaja Nara Singh at Kangla today. Chief Minister N. Biren led the ministers, MLAs and others officials in paying floral tribute to the portrait of late Maharaja Nara Singh at his memorial site. He also led other dignitaries in offering tarpan at Nungjeng Pukri, Achauba. The observance was organized by Manipur State Archaeology Department of Art and Culture, Government of Manipur. After the floral tribute, a contingent of 1st Battalion Manipur Rifles offered guard of honor, gun salute and sounded the last pose as a mark of respect to the erstwhile king. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Minister N. Biren stated that the state government had started paying tribute and respect to the great forefathers, organizing functions at state level to make people aware of their sacrifices towards protecting the motherland. The Chief Minister recalled the hardship faced by the forefathers during the 7 years devastation period 1819 to 1826 and hard work of great leaders, namely Maharaja Gambhir Singh and Maharaja Nara Singh, towards regaining their land from Awa, urging people not to possess sectarian ideology and to stop thinking only about their respective communities. He appealed to everyone to work together for overall development of the land which people of the state inherited from the forefathers. Biren further informed that the state government had started seeing sites at Nongmaiching Hills to install the statues of Maichau Taret and added that a statue of Maharaja Nara Singh would also be installed at the Western Gate of Kangla within 100 days. He also stressed the need to preserve the Leng Ondabi part located in Assam Kasar district, which was named after the commitment of Maharaja Nara Singh. Power Minister Thongam Bishwajit, Education Minister Yumnam Khemchan, Works Minister Gobindas Konthaujam, Cooperation Minister Nemcha Kipgan, members of Legislative Assembly, Chief Secretary, Director General of Police and other top civil and police officials also attended the observation function. Former chairman of United National Liberation Front, UNLF, R.K. Sanayama, has asserted that there is no harm in promoting an official language of a country. However, forcible imposition of the official language on other communities on the pretext of promoting the language will not bear any positive result. Besides, making Hindi compulsory till class 10 in the northeastern states is not a wise policy, the former chairman told MAMI TV News. Speaking to MAMI TV News in an exclusive interview with our staff reporter George Bachaspatimayum and video journalist Laikanta, R.K. Sanayama said that every community in the world has the universal right to promote, safeguard and protect its own native and indigenous language, and it is one of the universal rights approved and recognized by the United Nations. And for that matter, United Nations began observing International Mother Language Day every year. He further added, there is no objection in promoting Hindi as an official language of India. However, imposition of Hindi language on other communities by crossing the boundary can never bring positive result, R.K. Sanayama said, adding that making Hindi compulsory till class 10 will be a heavy burden on the students and the matter calls for discussion. Pointing out that culture cannot be protected by a territorial boundary, he said, minority communities are often assimilated by majority community when the minority communities are not in a position to protect their culture and it is a common phenomenon in the present society. He further opined that confusion while discussing the identity of the indigenous communities is one of the biggest challenges in Manipur today. If the matter is not discussed properly to chalk out a strategy to save the identity, Manipur may soon become extinct, Sanayama said.
I observation that the Lepa Amagi official language ni hena le ba lo na ba sengo na sa khut na ba madu mia mo Lepa to the tuan work groups in the madu promote to bogi rights government to the lane ko madu mo within the right and power. Adu madu le regasu Lepa to the full community tuan long mayam le ko mayam do gisu my mama long the directams of bagi mama long the sakot na hot na bagi universal rights to lay natural masi United Nations na so recognize the right madu the mokta United Nations na say kudengi international mother language day na observation to do kun Lepa amada official language when Hindi se chanang bai se madu sakot na hot na badi kaiti and kali madu within the bounds of government and their government ki madagi we can manam dana all everything they can do to develop Hindi luri di madun if maduna kayba madagi boundary la laga imposed from adom the jungle la ko then there is problem dividing line they do now hojik or kadu se hana akhoi from the class 8 for Hindi is compulsory subject when tamale hojik di masi class 10 ho tamla ku wa from there hodoris maduda akhoi shomgi meirosing de class 10 for Hindi launch it compulsory tamalaga di akhoi meirosing the extra burden of work adorin Hindi loan tambadune Hindi loan se akhoi de poco de ngangal ko loan tamina toan tamdoina maduda metric for the metric se hoji competitive exam we natural changying board na lower examination of oil madeda madu tamna hona pa da akhoi shomgi meirosing da ate to pa akhoi modern language manung da su tamdoini natra adagi then English su tamdoini natra akhoi na tamdoi lonse kaya no madoi natra adagi adon be examination pigadori ba examination tagadori ba meiro amada sham imposter is jumbra mase khanen oya hojiki matam sila imalo khakdaga khanga su yarakte ko problem ke no sidade scenario sidade atilon khang mo thokta not only Hindi English tana hojiki Chinese long su khang mo thokta ade indam sa ma Chinese long tamna resin natra ate tilon me am tamre sky de tamgda mo side ekoida mana ko malem do timra culture mo verina but so far as my lamiba adumba my tamham sangsingda my syllabus ta ko lo nama siba wang ngadamni hajala ko se masi de khaliktam I asimba wise policy na lo de kale.
Responding to query of MAMI TV if making Hindi compulsory up to class 10 can be considered as a hidden agenda of cultural assimilation, R.K. Sanayama said cultural assimilation is a common sight which people have been witnessing. He said the center has been devising different strategies and that cultural assimilation is a persisting process. Moreover, the imposition of Hindi on school syllabus is also part of the process, he said.
Manipur Windiala Telem Kibase must legally and unconstitutionally very organized. Hinary, Maduri documentary support me absolutely must the hen in due course of time the process is must put on a kine. Madam the Madada Yam hurriedly the Morori Matabum, Chataki Batumba, Towondo, Madugi. Obviously, question the Kunda, the Hitaka Kunda, the Tanner, Tadumbo, Yellow Proof Sing. Uzilan Vigi Mongo, Unabaramwaraga, Swedmaki, a similar singy torrent, Satara can have the Kun. Could I isolate Bakangation? So I don't come give up on just to Sataraki. Don't want to have a level. Don't want to have a career similar. Sathare. Madudi, hidden agenda, and low day. The phone from Sathare Pukin. The way I quay later up Ariba civilization, my cultural aspect of it. But talking of one of the Karamba, Jago is in a hand, a promoter we had that don't come on my coin. I don't must say to don't hand a sister, and ma'am, whatever, a civilization of them say, city, I don't come from them.
Stressing on the need to develop and promote Manipuri language, R.K. Sanayama termed it extremely unfortunate that the Manipuri language is being neglected. The impact of various factors, including digital platform, has put the Manipuri language on the verge of extinction. Instead of code switching and mixing of languages borrowed from outside the state, it will be prudent to research and work on developing languages of different indigenous communities of the state to form a common language of Manipur, he added.
Manipuri loan more often say. She works as you or Hana going to loan go in at all. I was in Karahana, Manipuri loan and it's another rouse. 45 years in top level in high cargo. Other book, you know, not know the honey. Says that, and I see a quick Manipuri loan and senator. My tea loans is she's a loan. Dying language, linguistics expression. I think none alone. Digital can also talk with the gay, texting the gay, chatting the gay. Talk to number, a quick none alone, three. Not right. Madu. None of loans in a loan the junction lagadi. Loans can't home chair. Maggie loan the Maggie a same seconds mangere. I don't know, 6 years, Manipur say queen can Puru contract hand at Tamina. A people the power ratio. Don't have a loan dialect cambo. Puru Mam contaminated. I must see Meti loans except the Mingaba agree. I think it's enough to Yawina. Not right. Other way. Mashidamo Laura said, Tampaka pa lady laying action. In Pali, based on laying action. Metilonzi, blast and bottom with them hair. Quit English not except orchestra. Other way, none alone though, Metilon, Manipulon say, developed of Mzaka. Research of Mzaka. Dialects, Mam lazy, learn research to Raga. Mother the gift has about way with that, Mam can get her. Mother. A same woman if you know developed those.
Agriculture Minister T.H. Bishwazit has said a new policy will be introduced to ensure adequate availability of fertilizers to the farmers. The government will make sure the farmers do not face the problem of fertilizer shortage this year, he added. He said this during his felicitation and interaction program held today at the Office of Agriculture at Sanzentong, organized by the Department of Agriculture. Speaking on the occasion, Bishwazit said a new system will be implemented under the leadership of Chief Minister N. Biren to address fertilizers shortage. For this, he has met the District Agriculture Officer and the department assured full cooperation, the minister informed. To make sure every farmer gets the fertilizers, Office Field Assistants will verify the soil of the field before distributing the required fertilizers, Bishwazit said. Steps will be taken up to distribute the fertilizers to the farmers after the field staff verified the soil. The government had a meeting with the administration secretary and the director of the department on the matter. The Agriculture Minister assured that the new policy will lessen the problems of fertilizer insufficiencies in the state. A farmers' meet will be held on April 13, which will be attended by Chief Minister N. Biren. These steps are taken up to boost the state's agriculture products and become self-sufficient.
Ladiba Pagi gap si cradle canosi Tidoknaba, Adano Farmana Tagariba. Labuk sing encouraging to the Salaga Pagi field assistant, Mayam Singina, men ports in Ergana, Yankan the Magri requirement to the Piragadi, we hardly loan of Pongani, Habagi, as Hamagalona, Quingasi, Kanoda, Miamda, Quilo missing da Amadi, Prozasing da Quina Tamjari Madudi, State Sarkar Maketagi, Hojik Harting, Lieutenant Singi, could go down Ayama Punba, Hore, districting the people Horagani, Miam, the Chokui districti, Kudimakta, toll free Tangani. Toll free number da ikon harakpa matamda ikoi aigi labuk yeng view na to sit of you haiba matamda ikoi district agriculture officer ge maikai dagi mi sing tharakani lona na कोई मियाम ने कॉर्पोरेशन पीबीयू फार्मर्स ने कॉर्पोरेशन पीबीयू फार्मर्स की दमक त कोइना हार की चेनबा अमदी हार की अवार पलितना पीबा ngमनबा कोई स्टेट सरकार ना तौरिबस्ताना आई मियाम दा अमदी मरोइना फार्मर्स दा अपील तौ
The elections to appoint the chairman of Hill Areas Committee HAC for Manipur Legislative Assembly will be held at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Secretary of Manipur Legislative Assembly K. Mega Chandra in a notification said Governor Laganation has appointed member of Hill Areas Committee Letpao Haukip to preside over the meeting for the election to the office of the chairman HAC of the Manipur Legislative Assembly. The notification has notified all the members of the committee to attend the meeting to be held at committee room of the assembly. Today was the last day for the submission of notice of motion for the chairman by members of the committee. Preparations are underway to observe the 22nd Sumang Lila Day at Iboyai Mashanglan Palace compound at 1 p.m. tomorrow, organized by Manipur State Sumang Lila Council. Sumang Lila artists of both male and female Sumang Lila troupe carried out cleanliness drive in the surrounding of Iboyai Mashanglan today in connection with the observance. General Secretary of Sumang Lila Council Yumnam Lila Chandra stated that the observance will be held as the normal life has slowly come back in the state with the improving COVID-19 situation in the state. He also urged Sumang Lila lovers to take part in the celebration.
Sumang Lila Day, April 12 asi hayeng tare maram aduna hayeng gi mangoy na Sumang Lila gi complex ase masi lulan thamnaba gi damakta dipi Sumang Lila amasung nupa Sumang Lila Manipur State Sumang Lila Council gi makha da leiba affiliate toba la kalu khuding mak na hujikti yamna unity oina na hujik mathang lali la kadaba sumang watli social service ki akoi gi thaba ama program pangthok chabani masi gi service ase mapung phana pangthok mi gi damakta la kalu khuding mak pu Manipur State Sumang Lila Council gi maikai di tawimal khang uchari amasung Manipur San lai pakta kundare ba amasung prithivida maitai haiba Manipuri lol thokpa khuding mak ta Sumang Lila gi paujel ase Sumang Lila Day gi paujel ase mangoy na ngasi.
The NSCN-IM claimed that the Indo-Naga peace talk did not conclude on October 31, 2019. A statement issued by the Ministry of Information and Publicity of NSCN GPRN said negotiations are still going on to resolve the core issues. NSCN-IM claimed that October 31, 2019 was actually a day of ultimatum served to the NSCN to sign the agreement under the Indian Constitution without the Naga flag and the Constitution. RN Ravi threatened the NSCN with dire consequences and declared that with or without NSCN, an agreement has to be signed on or before the October 31. The statement said the Nagas at large appeared to be still haunted by the misadventure of RN Ravi with his confusing handling of the Indo-Naga talks. The framework agreement was signed in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other high dignitaries. Hence, the framework agreement must be safe from becoming another betraying agreement as testified by the Indo-Naga history, the statement said. The earthwork for around 4-kilometer long road stretch from Haukababu Bazar to Kiam Wangmataba Moizing Khul under PMGSY has been put on hold. Kiam Wangmataba Youth Welfare Association lamented that the work did not maintain quality control. Addressing the media, Secretary of KWA Thingujam Manichandra expressed concern that the locals residing along the sides of the road will become prone to infections owing to the dust from the earthwork. Commuters will face many problems as rainy season approaches. According to the information by PMGSY, the deadline for the earthwork was January 5. However, the majority of the work is yet to be completed. The association has drawn the attention of the concerned minister, department and contractor to complete the work onset of rainy season. The association warned of launching different forms of agitations if the authority does not translate their demand into action.
Hariba koi 2022 ge vote mamang da losengani haiba gi pandamda hana wangzaram ba troban gi koi lawnamban sing si mon lami pakthona bagi emda koi gi thugai ba adigi amama toba sema da hana gi wangi ba sorok to su loimong niamgre aduga arwak tawrine haran mapung phana su tawde hana gi wangi ba sang su wangandre hauzik nungsu tha lak da basna maram goraga koi gi ising chaw lak matamda koi gi naye ta tariba koi khunja singna ising si pathokidra haibagi mi paiba yama saung lere pimjes wai gi makhada hauji hauji koi mang lei ba thong ji sahi ahum mari mamang dagi thoba koi gi kena waithau tangjeng dagi phauraga kiam wang mata ba phau na ba khoi semi ba yan maru.
Dr. R.K. Pramodini has been conferred the Doctor of Education Award by the Global Human Peace University held at Coimbatore. She was one among many other renowned academicians from across the country felicitated and recognized for their achievements in the field of teaching. Retired principal of TG Higher Secondary School, Pramodini, age 69, she continues to work for children's rights and their education as well as contribute towards women empowerment. Manipur's badminton players Maisnam Meiraba, Khairakpam Manjit and Kontaujam Dinku have been selected for trial selection of badminton Indian team contingents for the upcoming international badminton tournament, including Commonwealth Games. Badminton of India, in a press release, said that the trial selection of India contingents for the upcoming 2022 Thomas and Uber Cup in Bangkok, Thailand, to be held from May 8 to 15, 2022, Commonwealth Game 2022 to be held in Birmingham, England from July 28 to August 8, 2022. And 2022 Asian Games to be held in Hangzhou, Zhejiang, China from September 10 to 25, 2022 will be held in New Delhi from April 15 to 20. Manipur's Maisnam Meiraba Luang will participate in senior men's single events, while Khairakpam Manjit and Kontaujam Dinku will participate in senior men's double events in the trial selection. India logged a total of 861 new COVID-19 cases with 6 deaths in the last 24 hours. With this, the total tally of COVID-19 cases surged to over 4.30 crore, while the active cases dipped to 11,058 according to the data updated by Union Health Ministry. The death count climbed to more than 5.21 lakh. The active cases comprise 0.03% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate remained at 98.76%, the ministry said. The daily positivity rate was also recorded as 0.32% and the weekly positivity rate at 0.23%. Meanwhile, the number of people who have recuperated from the disease surged to 4.25 crore, while the case fatality rate was recorded at 1.21%. On the other hand, the cumulative doses administered in the country under the nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive has exceeded 185.74 crore across the country. A delegation of legislators from Nagaland will reach Delhi today to meet union ministers and leaders of different political parties, prodding them on the Nagaland Peace Accord, seeking a solution the vexed political issue soon. The decision to send the core committee comprising at least 15 MLAs was taken on Saturday at a meeting of the Parliamentary Committee of the Assembly on Naga political issue chaired by Nagaland Chief Minister Naifurio. United Democratic Alliance UDA Chairman T.R. Jeliang, co-convener of the committee, was also present in the meeting. The Jawaharlal Nehru University administration has warned the students that no violence will be tolerated on campus and has appealed for peace and harmony. Clashes were reported from Jawaharlal Nehru University JNU after students of the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad ABVP allegedly stopped other left-leaning students from eating non-vegetarian food on Ram Navami on Sunday. ABVP students have also been accused of assaulting the mess secretary of the Kaveri hostel on the campus. The ABVP, on the other hand, alleged that left-wing students had been interrupting Ram Navami prayers at the Kaveri hostel. Pakistan's opposition leader Shehbaz Sharif is likely to be elected the new Prime Minister of Pakistan today after the ouster of Imran Khan through a no-confidence vote by the joint opposition. Pakistan's National Assembly will convene to elect a Prime Minister today. Pakistan opposition leader Shehbaz Sharif, the 70-year-old younger brother of former three-time Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, has been nominated as a joint candidate for the Prime Minister's election scheduled today. On the other hand, Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Party (PTI) has nominated Shah Mahmood Qureshi as their candidate. Meanwhile, the opposition had mustered 174 votes to oust Khan. If they can repeat it today, Sharif will be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan. On the other hand, the Cabinet Division on Sunday denotified 52 members of the Federal Cabinet after the historic vote of no confidence by the joint opposition. In the House of 342, the winner would need 172 votes to become the new Prime Minister. Before we end the bulletin, let's look at the top news headlines once again. State observes 172nd death anniversary of Maharaja Nara Singh. Statue of Maharaja Nara Singh to be installed at Western Gate of Kangla within 100 days, announces Chief Minister N. Biren. Imposition of Hindi on other communities will not bring positive result, asserts R.K. Sanayama. New policy will be introduced to ensure adequate availability of fertilizers in state, says Agriculture Minister T.H. Bishwajit. With that, it's a wrap for this evening news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.